Welcome to week 2 of your online course, Beyond English. Now that we went through a full week in which we explored all methods that were used a long time ago, we are going to jump a little further in history by bringing up to the table this very meaningful method which was proposed in the 1970s by Caleb Gattegno in Europe. As you can guess by its name, this method is very visual. It doesn't mean that students don't speak. No, it's the opposite. Teachers don't speak that much so that learners get the chance to produce language. Since it is visual, it uses a lot of color coding and clear graphics. This method, as you can deduce, is also very cognitive. This is why there is also problem-solving activities involved in this method. The purpose of such a method is that teachers elicit language through signs and body language. This way, students have the chance to speak more than the teacher. Us, teachers, we barely speak. We do gestures, signs, we point with our fingers, we mime, we act, we do all kinds of strategies so that we don't speak that much, because that is the main principle of this method. Teachers avoid speaking as much as possible, and students produce language as much as possible. How far can you go? Well, we encourage you to walk that extra mile in which teacher talking time is reduced so that student talking time increases a lot. Alright. Honestly, there are clear benefits and advantages to this method. Students develop not only language but confidence because they get more used to hear themselves speaking in English. And you know, this is vital because it's way better when learners feel that speaking in English is natural, comfortable, and not something awkward or even painful. Another benefit of using this method is that students develop fluency. Students feel pushed to participate in English because it becomes natural and spontaneous. We guide them to produce real language, to speak up, to say what they mean, to mean what they say, to let their ideas out so that everybody can hear. So, for this reason, we truly recommend this method. It is very convenient because students are required to be active most of the time. Of course, it doesn't mean that teachers have to be silent all the times. But let's be clear and honest. Students are the ones who will benefit the most from speaking. If they don't find the words, we are there to scaffold them. The silent way method is a good way to foster speaking in the classroom without us, teachers, telling the students, "Hey, please speak." The more silent you are, the more gestures you use, and the more students' brains will have to work, the more they will have to deduce. And they are cognitively engaged. It is easier for them to remember and to internalize knowledge. We advise to use this method once in a while because when teachers use it, they have found that their students create more and they become more autonomous. When we just show them and make them repeat, students' attention gets somehow lost. We also recommend this method because it is coherent with teaching for understanding, because students are active, they speak more than the teacher, and their brains are challenged to understand, to deduce, and to interpret the gestures and signs that the teacher does. Again, this doesn't mean that you have to use it all the time. Use it wisely, combine it with other active learning techniques. Also, when you use this method, your students become more autonomous, independent, and responsible. Now, have a look at the following video and please share your answers with your colleagues here in the discussion forum. What positive aspects can you see in this micro-teaching? What challenges do you think you could have when you use this method? And most importantly, how are you going to solve these challenges?